All right, first thing you need to do is get your small piece of muslin and find a reference image. I'm going to draw these tulips. So you're going to get a pencil and draw whatever that reference image is onto your piece of muslin. Next thing you're going to need to do is grab something called a wool buddy. The wool buddy is what you're going to be using as your surface for stabbing in the wool. Okay? And then you're going to need to get a felting needle. Felting needles are very sharp, so be sure that when you're starting to do the stabbing motion that you're very careful not to stab your finger. It will hurt, I promise, and you will need a Band-Aid. Okay? The needles are sharp, they're long, and it's not like a sewing needle. You don't use it for any sort of stitching, you just use it for stabbing motion. Okay? So go ahead and lay your muslin down, and now you're going to need to grab some felting wool. Okay? This is just dyed wool. Find the color scheme that you need in your picture and find the wool colors that kind of match. Go ahead and open up that bag of wool, and you'll notice that it is easily able to pull apart, kind of like cotton candy or just like cotton ball. Right? Pull a small section off that you'll need. Right? I'm going to start with the center kind of part of my tulip. I'm just going to lightly lay that wool in the area where I'm going to start. I'm going to lay it there kind of loosely with my finger, and I'm going to take my felting needle and I'm going to start stabbing. You're going to continue stabbing. You want that wool to kind of fit into the space that you're trying to fill with that color. The more you stab, the tighter the wool will become, and the more it will fit into the shape that you want it to be in. So just keep taking that wool, pulling it over, and continue stabbing with the felting needle. You'll notice that it's going to start to adhere to the wool buddy a little bit. That's okay, just slightly pull off, and you can see how the fibers are intertwining with the fibers of the muslin. That's what you want to happen, so it's nice and secure in there. So continue stabbing. Eventually you're going to want to grab different colors to create different values with the wool. Right? So keep stabbing, keep stabbing, keep stabbing until it's tight as you want. You'll notice on this other one that I started, I'm starting to get some value variation with my wool. Right, I'm adding some darker pinks, some reds, some purples in there for the dark tone. Another good way to get some, like an ombre effect, is to take your felting needle and kind of pull the top layers over top of another layer and then start stabbing, and you're going to get kind of like a change in value from dark to light or light to dark. Right. Here's a sample of a very large or a much larger needle felted project that I've done. You can see the amount of wool that is needed. It is all intertwined and interlocked with the back of the muslin. And I even added some beads here to the snail, which is something you can do if you decide to on a big project. And when you're finished, you'll have something that looks like this. It's small, but you've got to practice the technique. Don't forget, maybe you want to address something in the background just by kind of loosely felting some wool into there, but address the background in some way. This will take you a full 2 days to draw, needle felt, create a background. So make sure you're using your time as needed.